Welcome to Ultiworld's coverage of the World Under-24 Ultimate Championships from Logroño in the La Rioja region of Spain. We are into day 6. That means it's bracket play, knockouts, quarterfinals. 8 teams remain in the open division with championship aspirations. And we've got Italy in front of us. They've only lost to the North Americans. Taking on Japan, they've taken on a bit of a backdoor route. I'm Stefan Rapazzo alongside Liam Grant to bring you the action. Liam, set us up for this tasty quarter.
It is showtime here in the open division. Really excited for this matchup. I think this is the most hotly contested quarterfinal, the one we're all thinking about. Japan, you just can't trust them in the pool stages or early on in the tournament. They kind of lackadaisy their way through things, losing to Colombia, which was a big surprise. Japan lost to Canada then, and also losing to Belgium. We saw that one as well. So they've lost. They're 4-3 here, Japan. But they've done this at multiple tournaments against the bracket play to start bringing on fresh players, stacking lines. You see different teams. So a real bogey team that you don't want to face here in the quarterfinal. You saw them turn it on a bit more against Switzerland. And as this progresses in the tournament, Japan are going to step up. So it's going to be a big battle for Italy. As we look at number 99, the speedster O'Hara has been sensational for them. They like to use him a lot in that quick transition. One of the fastest players, I believe, at this tournament, just from watching him. And he could be a world game star in the future for Japan.
Yeah, maybe even into the present with Japan's roster. We'll see if he can make his way on. Was phenomenal in the last game on stream, as was this man from Rimini, Costa Rica Grande star Samuele Ruscello. Has been really what's setting Italy apart upfield. I know Rossi is doing a lot of the work on the receiving end, but both those players have been able to come under, have been able to distribute and stretch the defense with their speedsters in the back distributing. This game is really going to be an incredible clash, and we are now right into it. Italians taking the very first pull. Cassanelli and Mancinelli. A very familiar O-line now, this Italian team we've seen from Tom's tourney. Look at them aggressively going over top of the zone to Saracco with a nice blade from Cassanelli. Mancinelli, Cassanelli pop through. Nice look there to Fantini, and even better, look at the speed. Mancinelli. Italy moved into the red zone in no time. Rossi in the end zone. Both corners are available if they want to take the risks. Otherwise, they will continue to reset. Poltak. Mancinelli had an opening. Gets the right look. Saracco in the corner. And Italy open with a hold. It's 1-0.
That's how you play zone offense, Steph. That is textbook perfection. And all these Italian players are so good at breaking the mark. And a bid comes in. They're trying to make a play on that. And the free Italian receiver in the back and very easily breaking the mark. And just look at that whole possession. Japan played this very saggy zone and try to set traps. Italy, so good at playing zone offense. You saw them move incredibly quickly, keep changing the point of attack, no one holding it for 2 or 3 more seconds. Really good at playing small ball, happy to take a 1-yard gainer to help open up the field. And you feel like that's playing into the hands of this Italian side. And that Japanese zone, so good, a lot of other teams have struggled with it. But if there's a team that's designed to beat it, it's this Italian team.
Yeah, absolutely. They have I mean, there is similarity in style. There are grave differences as well, but you know, Davide, I said that last year that, or in Nottingham, that they have the Japanese style of Europe, and he didn't mind hearing it. He's like, yes, there are some ways we play very similar to the Japan, but many different. You talk about Davide, you know, the well-known coach of this Italian side. I was talking to Louis Ikeda, the coach of the Japanese side. He says he respects Davide. He had a jersey trade with him a while back. But he did also say one thing, Liam, that Davide, not calm, And
bit of Mac line there, Steph, on the centering pass, but kept possession.
Goodness gracious, Liam, thanks for keeping us in this one as Japan get their first possession. Foul called immediately.
That was a spicy start from Japan.
Takahashi has the disc. And into the hands of Ishiguro. He sends deep. Bid is too far in front. Hosoya sends the body, but nothing in hand after the bid. Italy with a break chance, early days.
We see that ferocious blading forehand, something I associate with Japanese ultimate. They tend to do that. They're not the biggest receivers. They don't want to float it up. But if you go for the arcing blade, it has to be accurate. Has to be on the money. That time just a little too far. And if Japan are going to win this game, they have to hit those shots. Simonazzi, talisman on this D-line for Italy. Certainly doesn't lack passion.
None at all. Corazza winds up. Brini the target. Vici there, but the defense takes it away. Hosoya, who missed in the end zone, intercepts to give Japan a second chance on the attack. Kawasaki gets a move out of Kawhi and then throws it right to the talisman Simonazzi. He sights Corazza, who goes up early and shows some frustration in the body language as Japan get yet another chance to hold.
The Italians definitely show their emotions, don't they? Frustration there. Went up too early. Didn't need to do that at all. I like the shot from Simonazzi. He got a good poach in the lane. And so yeah, something we saw with this Italian D-line. We saw them against Canada as well. We're a bit heavy-handed on the D-line. Look to move it very quickly, and that's how they play their D-line offense.
They've done it both ways in some of their victories. They've had seamless, but it's very, when they're hot, and when they're not, they are not, as Japan plays in their own end zone. Kawasaki fires a dart through the hands of Ohara, picked up quick by Zani. Zani has that Ohara matchup. He was one noted by the Italian Brains Trust that would be taking him on. Simonazzi to Zani, and a discussion here.
And 3 break opportunities early on here for Italy.
I don't know, he let me.
Yeah, so it's okay, we're just talking. Are you the... Okay.
So the pick was on me.
Okay. So do you want to... Yeah. Just, we'll let the translator... Okay. And then, is that your player?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is there.
Because it happened...
Yeah.
It happened before the throw that...
How big now? これこのスローピックのコールとスローがどっちが先やったかって話で。Okay, that's fine. Just a minute. They need to pick forward first.
Okay.
Long
And
discussion
so,
for
here,
a pit
but what's
call.
the-
I feel like
yeah,
you just
and
want to get
what's
this
the-
resolved. I don't think it's going to affect things too much.
A very long discussion. This game has some potential to be requiring heavy use of the translator, heavy use of the GA as such. A lot of interjection. Let's hope for the cleanest, quickest resolutions, but some writing on the wall.
And the shades are back on, and Italy with their third opportunity to break in this point.
Simonazzi to Zani. Zani tests the mark, back central. Simonazzi from the attacking brick. Corazza to Simonazzi. And over to the far sideline, Zani around. Simonazzi fires. Oh, then collision, but comes up with the disc. Alisi, the goal scorer on the Italian break.
Bit of a fender bender at the front corner there. A collision we want to see best avoided, but great hands from the Italians. Got in the third time asking them to be very happy with their defense, but would want to have a better conversion rate than that. You see a very shaky start here from Japan. Even the centering pass at this point was spicy. So Manazzi is going to be anchoring the D-line at times, as he did 2 years ago, I believe, when Italy beat Japan
in this round of play. Last time they have matched up, quarterfinals victory for Italy. And, you know, shaky start for the Japanese. There is the first matchup since 2023 in Nottingham. Italy won that game in a nail-biter. I was on the sideline of that game, and I still remember the interview at the end. What was awaiting the winner of that game, Liam?
Belgium, but probably the likely outcome in that Belgium-Colombia game. But Colombia beat Japan, so don't write them off just yet. But yeah, Barzazzi that time with the interview. We might have Paradisi with the interview next time. Going for that blade pull, doesn't quite make it out of bounds, as was the intention to roll it out.
Japan with a fresh set of bodies out there after the break. Suzuki up line, nice take. Ishikawa moves forward, and now Tsujino centers. Ishikawa backhand around, led, what a bid! Puts on the cape, and Tsujino takes flight for Japan's first hold.
Absolutely incredible from Japan. A much better offensive point. Took a bit of razzmatazz to finish it off, but sensational from Japan. Kusujino will see this again. Turns on airplane mode and goes flying.
Love the shape of that layout. Upward trajectory off the ground. Oh, that looks like the greatest logo.
Picture perfect layout form, and much better from Japan. Okay, that one needed a spectacular catch, but the offense looked much better. They were very shaky in that first point. They get the clean hold.
You're right, the first point, like, you'd like to credit the Italian defense. They have been good. They've always been. They are going to be good from beginning to end. But you're absolutely right. It was a lot of nerves showing from the Japanese, and a lot of their, players that are most used to this, that have been at the center in their big games. Kawasaki, Kawai, Ohara, all having shaky starts, so they'll need to settle here. But for now, it's Italy's turn on O. They send them back out. Rosie comes under.
And see, coming with a match defense now, Japan cutting through the zone like ribbons, the Italians, so have to switch it up.
Poltok takes another under from Rosie. Led forward to Fabri, and there's a pick in the middle that will likely send this disc back.
I see a very passionate Davide Mori. He's got the wraparound shades as well now.
But David is jumping into the future.
Probably had some moment in his past he wants to forget. But been a fantastic coach of this Italian side. Has his big book of notes. And again, a big discussion about a pick call, and don't know if it's necessary.
If I'm the Italians right now, just accepting, happily accepting, yes.
So that doesn't affect, because you should be
particularly on a pick.
He hard pick pull before he threw the disc.
okay.
That's his first 50.
But if it doesn't affect the play, you should continue to play defense and then stop.
ない場合はプレー続けな話っていう。
So we're explaining how if the pick doesn't affect, the disc should stay. So do they still think it affected the play?
それでもまだこのプレーにいくらかとあると思ってます。
So the disc should stay here or stay there?
これ影響ないな。
Okay. So the disc is here.
We got to the correct resolution eventually, so I'm okay with taking a little extra time if we feel like we're going somewhere and we get the right resolution. Didn't affect the play. It should go.
I hope we get the right resolution and we are forward thinking here. They're ready to be able to resolve these quicker as the game progresses. Pole talk. Floats one central. Casanelli tests the mark. Now finds Rosie in the middle. And a call upfield. Likely to be another pick. Back in play, Rosie. Di Grazia was coming under, but he went back to the handling unit. Casanelli, Rosie. Di Grazia has been an incredible release valve for the Italians. The shot from Poltak, Ruscello, but he has put it too far into the netting. And Japan will get their first break chance of the game.
The match defense proving far more successful for Japan. You see someone peeling off the back there as well. They were doing person defense, but there was some switching downfields. If your person went deep and clearing under, you'd maybe hang around a bit.
And we should clarify for our viewers, there is a new back of the end zone line. It's not the brightest yellow line. It is the one with the cones. As this disc goes up, they try and shoot back the other way. Sadako does a good job to take position. I thought a foul was called and then quickly retracted.
Yeah, glad to see that. I think the Italian man got position early and just kind of held it. And that's not a great idea, I think, for Japan. I don't think they're going to win those big one-on-one matchups in the air. Good effort, but the Italian getting position.
Di Grazia. Sadako hurdles, fakes the huck, and motions for Rosie to come under. Poltak chooses the other sideline. Fabry fires. Rosie has clearance. Takes it high for the goal. Italy pump another one on. They're up 3-1 with that hold.
And the Italian fans have turned up here in numbers to support this high-flying open side. Struggled a little bit more there with the match defense from Japan. I think we'll see that again. Flustering them a bit, but getting it done, and the fans getting loud here as things heat up in this open division quarterfinal. And the deep option there, quite a lot for Italy, but always a more difficult option to go deep straight away. But great work.
A little rest
from
and
Rosie.
relaxation. R&R, Rosie, Ruscello, they were both there. They're both doing an excellent job of stretching opposing defenses. The pull from Paradisi is a roller, and an exceptional roller. Moving well into the Japanese half beyond their brick mark, and will pin them on the sideline with the albatross width wingspan of Paradisi, but they are quick to bounce it inbounds. Kawasaki fires. Hits Nake. Hammered to the other side, all alone. Collected. Hosoya. Back to Kawasaki. And into Kawai. Leads forward Kawasaki, but Olivieri steps in And a foul is called. I think I can understand that one.
I'm not sure if it's a foul, but I would argue it's dangerous play. Again, a bit of a wayward disc into the lane, and you wonder who's initiating contact with who there. Again, you don't want to see that contact. You want to see it avoided.
I think Olivieri hit him hard enough on the follow through. I think he got the disc before the contact, but
did you have any perspective on a strip?
And to see the game advisors actually chatting between themselves there to see who got a perspective, and they'll do that quite a bit. Sometimes they'll even have hand signals to each other to suggest, hey, I got a good look at this, or arms folded, no I didn't. So if they're coming in, they know they can have an opinion or not.
Do you want my perspective? Yeah. I think the disc was going like this, and he got to the disc before you, and I don't think you had the possession of the disc. You didn't stop the rotation. That's my perspective, though.
自分的にはディスクを重ねたけど、このポーチが来てここに接触して落としたっていう感じで。
I'm gonna let this last one go and then ask to.
この接触によって落ちちゃったっていう。そっからだったらどうする
I take my position
Okay.
before
俺も
the-
So let's just hear what he just said. Let's have that translated.
What he's saying is that he grabbed a disc first, like before you guys.
Okay. So it sounds like we're not going to come to an agreement because now we're saying the same thing over again. So let's contest it. Going back to the thrower. It's going to be contested. Foul contest.
And game advisor role there, just being to speed things up. And I think recognizing the situation here, we've said our pieces. We're not really going anywhere. Let's move on.
Yeah, repetition of the same statement is useless at this stage. I'm happy enough with that. Again, my perspective was it was very close, gray area, but I do think that Olivieri has to do a bit of a better job to avoid that contact. Kawasaki back into play. Sorry, that was Kawai putting it into play. Ohana back to Kawai. Hops to the near sideline and a gesture for space as Kawasaki comes under. Paradisi and Hosoya and Hayashi with a conversation, but we're back in play happily. Ohara.
You can see that six-person vertical stack from Japan. No one in the reset space to start things off.
Ohara receives again, and he gets it under. Takahashi. Ohara in the backfield. Gets a lateral and fires for the goal. Look at the pin. Paradisi does it again.
Getting horizontal, pins the ears back, lets the hair flow, and just gets an incredible block.
Boy's got some flow. No questions about that. He has been doing it all week long. Every time Italy get behind a lens, we're seeing Paradisi throw the body horizontally. Comidato to Grazzini and Olivieri in the backfield. Grazzini winds up and fires, looking for Paradisi, but Ohara has space and does enough to knock it away, despite the aggressive chase by Paradisi. The pickup for Japan. Hayashi. He turns and finds Kawasaki. Back to Hayashi. Kawai. Picks a nice inside lane. Kawasaki motions the backhand, now gives the around. Bumps it into power position on the near sideline. Hayashi back to center. Pick called.
There's been so many pick calls, Steph, that aren't affecting the play. And in WFTF rules, you can actually wait a second or two from when the pick occurs to decide whether to call it or not, to see if your player is actually involved in the situation. And I think both teams could benefit from that, just to allow the game to flow.
Hosoya gets it up forward, right in front of the end zone. Takahashi goes back to Ohara. Bump on the mark. Ohara shoots, hits, goal for the Japanese. Hosoya on the reception.
Hosoya gets free of Paradisi that time. But I think the Italian D-line can be really happy with the turnovers they're generating, their intensity. But as we saw in some of their other games during the week, you see that sensational from Paradisi, playing like a man possessed. Another fantastic block, but eventually getting it done, Japan. So Italy, yeah, break opportunities, fantastic. Actually converted them, not so good for Italian D-line. If they want to win this tournament, they have to get better at that. And we saw some changes in the tournament today as we see a new end zone line, the one with the cone there. So end zone's been shortened. There were 18 meters, now about 16 and a half, shortening the pitch. And the reason is because of the fence and netting at the back of the field. Some teams were complaining. There was some people running into the fencing. There is a kind of a low metal fence there that people had collided with. So WFDF making the call to repaint the lines. And I saw in one of the games I covered in Field Pass earlier today. I don't know if you saw it, Steph, but teams getting a little confused at times with the new lines.
Yeah, I think it's something that has been iterated to the teams and put into text messaging, but will take a little while to get used to. Casanelli and Rosie rocket up the field. Now Mancinelli chisels into the zone. Mancinelli finds Fantini. Fantini looks to shoot back to center. Mancinelli motions the backhand twice, then pops it over. Casinelli on the doorstep. Fabri can't get there because of a sensational bid. Mashimo takes it away.
The Japanese with a chance to tie things up, coming back with a more traditional verse stack. Very tight though, exceptionally tight. Maybe just trying to pull one player out there and create some space.
Japan with a break chance. Uchi sends deep. Rosie's turned around but still gets a piece. Backup plan is there. Japan on the doorstep, ready to break. Hashimoto kicks to the near sideline. Otani motions, leads, and the defense comes from Fantini on the other side. Great help defense for the Italians.
Fantini wins it back for his teammates. Kind of similar situation, but I like this. Got this there a little bit earlier. Doesn't allow the Japanese player to say maybe a foul and stuff. If you get there first and as clean as Fantini did, no call, glad to see it.
Solmi takes a big under, looked to Fantini and opted not, but Fantini comes under for another big gainer. Chiseled forward. Fabri sends. Solmi chasing. Hits for the goal. And the Italians do manage their hold.
Brilliant shot to the big man and stays within the new end zone line. Great defense from the Italian O-line. That has been a strength of theirs. The seldom times they have turned over, they can play great defense as well and often get it back. It was Fantini that time that rescued for them. As we get another look at this, that is the original block from Japan, and Casanelli throws his hands in the air, and this Fantini comes stealing in. As you watch this deep shot, you'll understand why they pinned back the end zones a bit. Almost running away with it, Salome, but Italy in the lead here in this open division quarterfinal, up 4-2 against Japan.
2025 club season is upon us, and Ultiworld is bringing you all the action. Ultiworld is the best place for live video, news, highlights, and analysis of your favorite teams and players. Make sure to subscribe for our extensive live coverage of the USAU club season, including the thrilling club championships in San Diego in October, exclusively on Ultiworld.
Italy 4, Japan 2. World Under-24 Ultimate Championships coming at you from Logroño. One break for Italy in the second frame, otherwise trading. I'm Stefan Rapazzo here with Liam Grant, settling into this one as all fields are into the brackets in this open division. Getting a look at the icon of Italian Ultimate, Davide Mori.
He does a lot of talking. He can talk his way out of a room at no doorstep. He just has that personality. Love him or hate him, he's done a lot for our sport, and definitely an entertainer. Always a box office match when Davide is on the field.
Zani will be pulling for the Italians. And the Japanese settle under. Ohara goes to Kawasaki. Straight back, near sideline, Ohara. And straight back into the end zone. Wind up as Japan look at the Italian zone once more. Motion to hammer and then get all the way across Nake. Nake finds Ohara. That's Kawai rather, now Ohara.
And the Japanese are so good at threading the needle and pinging this across the field, and probably the two best nations when I think of zone offense, it's Italy and Japan. Italy plays small ball very quick. Japan just so accurate that they can find those spaces. And we're seeing both teams trying zones, but I just don't see it working for either of them, really.
And foul called on Zani. He quickly accepts. And I think Kawasaki wants Zani to be closer by the time he checks it in. Kawasaki. Central. Ishiguro goes around Kawai. Many high stall counts thus far against the zone, but they are manufacturing completions. Center and maybe a compromising bid. Rigoni sends the body flying. Ohara. Kawasaki and another pick.
They're playing zone, or at least I thought they were. Maybe they transitioned to match defense now, but not sure where the pick was.
Ohara. Ishiguro and back to Ohara. Kawasaki to Ishiguro. And Japan taking their time but chiseling upfield, slow and steady. They're in the red zone. Italy still in their zone. Bid again. Rigoni is going for it out there. Ohara pivots and goes into the backfield. Now back through the zone. Kawasaki looks at the hammer option. It's still there, and now with even more room at the back of the end zone. Big hop on the chisel step. Ohara goes through the middle. Ishiguro now on the doorstep. Nakai finds the seam and hits. Japan answer Yonehana with a goal.
Brilliant stuff from Japan. A clean hold. Never looked like turning over to me, Steph. Surprised Italy tried a zone again. I think forget about that. If I'm Davide Mori right now, it's not putting them under pressure. And you say like hit the seam. They also create the seam with their faking. Such good faking, and a little shout out to his club team there. And it says Rigoni throwing himself around like a big sack of spuds, but never really get near it. You see the faking here twice, creating space. Another fake on the end here. You see that little backhand shuffle, and the Italian bites at it and leaves the space in the middle. You can see frustrated, but they're so good at that, Italy. Or sorry, Japan at finding the holes, but creating the holes. That's something you have to do a lot on zone offense. Actually, fake, move people around. You got the no looks. You gotta use your swagger to create those situations. Animated on the sidelines now, this Japanese side, and they're still within touching distance. Only one break in the game so far. That was for Italy. Second point of the game.
Di Grazia manages the pull and goes straight to Mancinelli. Around, finds Fantini, and into the middle. Rosie gets picked off. What a play. Japan now with a break chance, fires. Hit for the goal. Japan picked the pocket. Go the other way as quick as can be. And Takuto Sawada cashes in the breaking goal.
First break of the game for Japan. An error for the Italians. They're going to have to recover now. You can see enjoying themselves. They're nervous in their first 0 point of the game. That's when they got broken. But we're back on serve now. Ohayo gozaimasu to anyone tuning in from Japan. Allora tutto bene to all our Italian fans. That just a picture perfect Japanese forehand. That sit down release point and sitting it up perfectly.
Daigo Suzuki, the pickpocket there, thief in the night, takes that one away. And the Japanese play into the camera as they love to do. We're back on serve, Liam. Italy received the first pull and held, and they'll receive again with a chance to dictate, but we are tied up.
Thank you for everyone tuning in on YouTube here. Be sure to subscribe to Ultiworld and get the full subscription to follow all these games and quarterfinal action today. We have Field Pass going. Get access to the Discord. Please support this great coverage.
All access all the time. I know those other quarterfinals are heating up too. Mancinelli fires, hits to Fantini. Fantini shakes. Solmi coming, defense there, but Solmi hangs on. Solmi points upfield, sends to center. Casanelli right back to Solmi. Solmi throws low, and Japan will get a second break chance in as many points.
Just a hiccup there from the Italian Solmi. We'll want that one back. Again, we see this off-center vert stack, 6-person vert stack from Japan. There's the J stack.
Ishikawa winds up, sends up field, and a bobble prevents the break chance. Trujillo can't hang on. Italy go the other way. Rosie from Fantini. Rosie fires, pull talk near sideline. Pull talk to Casanelli. Leads Solmi, who comes under. Mancinelli. Casanelli busting deep. Mancinelli sees it, but I think he's overshot him. He has. They're giving it right back to Japan.
And he could have sat it anywhere up in the end zone there. Left hand side, right hand side. Just needed float on it. Straight over the head of Casanelli, and it bit too much on that shot. Frustration there, and 3 unforced errors in this point. Let's see what the Japanese D-line do. Ishikawa is going to pick it up. They stayed up in a vertical attack, but quickly transitioned to more of a horizontal look, and that...
Oh, goodness. Rosie gets the D, but right into the hands of Sawada.
Madness, pure madness.
Foul called on the mark. That one should well have been turned over, but the luck of the bounce goes the way of Japan.
A violation again, and could be doing a better job here of getting the disc back into play.
We are in play now. Sawada, whoa, nice high take. Sent deep, all alone. Hopped in. Japan take the lead. Takuto Sawada, the goal scorer. And it's 5-4. Japan now dictate.
And the crowd goes wild here. The Japanese fans on their feet. A skip in their step here, Japan. Italy looking a bit shaky out there. Had open receivers, and this a magnanimous moment. Get out of jail free card, and you know the Italians need to be better and actually block that or catch that. It was straight to him. And they're pumped up right now, this Japanese side. As I said, don't take too much notice of their results in pool play. They find a way to make it to the bracket, and that's where they find another gear. And the Italians need to find that composure. We've seen it. They've looked very composed, the Italian O-line, for most of this tournament, but they need to do it now, and it matters most now. And they need to get, I think, a break back, really, before half, because if Japan can stay a break up, they'll get that mini break at half time. So it's going to be a really important few points of this game now.
Yeah, the potential for the all-important 2-for-none. Sawada, the goal scorer on the last 2 breaks for Japan. Casanelli goes to Poltak, and Fabri comes under. Poltak to Sarako. Fabri chases up line. Casanelli to Fantini. He winds up. Fabri fills space. Poltak chisels. Hits Di Grazia. Now Ruscello. Looks to pop. Does it into the backfield instead. Casanelli exchanges. Ruscello to Fabri. Less than 10 meters away. Scoop over top. But he's out beyond the new end zone line. And not sure Sarako realizes it. Unimpressed that he's confused.
Heartbreaking for the Italians. You can see he just realizes that he is out, and I don't know what the debate is about.
It was past this line, before that line, so it was between these 2 lines.
It was clear as day, it was out. And you can see frustration there, and it would have been a very difficult catch to get it on the newer lines, but you can see the thrower as well, maybe thinking they have more space. I was worried that these lines may come into play during these rounds, Steph. Very difficult for the players to make the adjustments to the shorter end zones.
Yeah, this is day 6 of play, with the showcase game included, of course, but they have definitely got used to these pitches, and now a change, and we see it as a negative effect to the Italians. And a third break here could be treachery. That one, almost a chance for Poltok to launch, but not quite.
Let's see a foul downfield. And the Italians looked a lot better there from their O-line, marching the whole way down, and just, I think, the line's catching them out.
Oh, and a poach by Sadako, but it still hits Otani. Mashimo goes up line. Uchi, surveying options, gets a cut into the backfield, unmarked. Nakano. And Sadako poaches again and gets away with one to the near sideline. Oh, throws into a pack, and this time it gets knocked away. Ruscello with the second touch.
A timeout is called, and they had to do it twice there. The Italians can't afford just to mack a disc in a game like this. The Japanese find ways to catch it on the second attempt, so had to go for the double defense there. And a big moment for Italy. I think they need this hold. As the Italians call the timeout, we'll take a look at some of the moments of that match. Great focus from the Japanese. Began a low throw, macked out of the air, and good awareness this time to stop the Japanese recovering the loose disc. And Davide Mori's looking animated as always, and
it is gut check time for the Italians. Not playing terribly, a few errors and a few bounces going the other way. Certainly that blocked disc by Rosie that was collected and then turned into a break. The scuba that goes out the back of the end zone because of the new lines. Just a few things not going completely right. They'll need to turn the tides. They'll need to turn the energy. Lots of game to play. But Japan have stolen the momentum at this stage. Underneath comes from Casanelli, and he goes to center. Di Grazia from Fantini. And around Ruscello. Fantini and Poltok. Back once more. Right in the midfield. Ruscello now looks upfield and then back to Casanelli. Fantini. Sadako. Good cycling by the Italians. Fabri takes a body check. Happy to play on, but moves back to this point of contact. And now everybody will return to their spots.
Yeah, bad foul there from Mashimo.
Italians taking their time with his possession. 24 passes in to get to the red zone. Casanelli gets hands to it. Leads, hits, Di Grazia. And the Italians maybe find their mojo again. It's 5-5.
The open options are there for Italy. Sometimes it takes a few seconds, but you feel like if they keep their cool, stay focused, they should be able to score relatively easy on the O-line, but they got to get breaks now, and I think they got to get them fast. I think they'd really want to get that break back before this first half ends. And Japan a bit of momentum there, but that's a good point from Italy. The O-line turned over, but they got it back.
Di Grazia has spent the majority of the tournament not needing to get on the scoring sheet for the Italians. One single assist prior to this, but a very important first goal for him. He's been a fixture on that O-line, always out there, and is a reset option a resetting of their fixtures, their structures on the field, doing a lot of the hard yards, a lot of pull reception, a role sorely required by every O-line that is never really rewarded. So great to see him getting some stats in this, the big quarterfinal. Kawasaki. All alone, no mark from Zani. He stays in the lane. Deep shot goes. It's hanging. There's 4 in the area already. Up early, but it's Simonazzi who's in front, and they will discuss.
You can see frustration from the Italians with that call. And look, don't even want to discuss it here. It was a sky ball of a throw. That's not a foul at all, in my opinion. Felt like they should have discussed it, though. I don't know if it's a good idea from the Italians just to point back and say, contest, we don't want to talk about it. Could have had the option of asking for the game advisor's opinion. I think that might have gone in their favor, and perhaps the Japanese willing to listen to their opinions, but choosing not to give them, just to send it right back.
Hosoya shoots again. This time it hits, and Takahashi collects. 6-5 with another hold.
Very frustrating from the Italian. Simonazzi not looking happy about what happened there. It was minimal contact there. That's definitely not a foul. I just don't see it at all.
I don't either. And very easily done the second time. 1 sent back. Japanese take advantage of probably what has become of the miscommunication out there. I'd imagine Simonazzi's quickness to respond has something to do with how long the discussions have taken otherwise, and he'd rather get to resolution quickly and have more time to play this game than to be talking in this game, and that I can understand and respect to some end. But I do think when it is as clear as we believe it to be, you do have to, maybe not stamp your foot, but a game with game advisors, let them come into play and see if they might get a clearer resolution out of it.
You understand Simonazzi's frustration there, but needs to have that discussion and try and state his case rather than just sending it back immediately. That's not in his favor. Again, don't think it was a foul at all, in my opinion.
Rosie to Mancinelli and Poltak. Sadako. Rosie generating all sorts of space every time he takes a step deep. Casanelli. Mancinelli to Fabri. And Sadako slips but still generates enough separation for the reception. Fabri surveying options only on the backhand side. Poltak comes into the space. Poltak, beautiful around throw. And Sadako gives another. Near sideline now for Fabri. He leads into an open space for Poltak. Zips one. Casanelli. What a hand. Mancinelli now. Meters away. A Casanelli slip as Mancinelli adjusts his sights. He finds Sadako. The Italians level things at 6. Another hold for them.
Their offense getting it done. They'll be looking to break back here, and we have some really exciting quarterfinals going on. If you do not have an Ultiworld subscription, get one now.
Right now.
And you're going to want to get the field pass. You're going to want to watch this. You're going to want to watch all the games. I'm going to give something away here if people don't want to watch back later. It is Galaxy Point now in the Belgium-Colombia game, and Colombia have possession of the disc. So for all those big Ultimate fans out there, stay with us here on YouTube, but maybe take out that second screen and throw on Field Pass as Colombia putting it up to Belgium. And Colombia beat this Japanese team. Has to be said, they are very stingy with the disc. And yeah, we could see some upsets here in the quarterfinals.
Unexpected. I mean, you always expect something's going to happen. The favorites look so good. Their track records are so fresh. This was the one where it's like, this is going to be the closest one. We got on Showcase Pits for a reason. But there's some proof that a lot of these ones are looking pretty tight. Perhaps all but the one involving the USA.
The Italian delegation enjoying this one in the stands. Packed crowds at a lot of these open quarterfinals.
Japan go to Ohara and Kawasaki. Zips to Nakai. And now near sideline. Fires sent deep. It's too fast. Nakai will never have a chance to get there. Italy with that break chance. Liam, you reckon it's pretty important to get before the half? I think I'm with you.
Yeah, and these are the shots they want to force Japan to take. Those same third deep shots, which they're not afraid to do. But their D-line had loads of opportunities to convert. Their conversion rate just not good enough, but they're going to need to convert this one, you feel, and need to be a bit more stingy. You can see the Japanese not playing honest defense here. We have a poach at the back of the horizontal stack, a few lads on the under, so the Japanese O-line is essentially playing a zone here, which is not something you see too often. I kind of like it though, but as I said earlier, Italy, one of the best nations at playing against zone offense. You see them finding the gap there. Dangerous throw. Simonazzi puts an air ball.
And well taken by Alisi. A little lucky to be taken to Giuliani now. Inside, give and go is Zani, and travel on the giving and going.
I don't think that was a travel.
Nor I. And Japan not allowing the quick reset because placement is not to their liking. Zani to Komirato, and Zani again. Zani fires. Alisi tries to do it in one. Instead looks to Giuliani. Italy break and take back the lead.
Italy pumped up right now. They really needed that break back before half, and that's just what they've done. I like to see them stack the line now. They've had the D-line out there, so you can send out some old players. If they break here, they can take half. If they don't, they can possibly call a timeout and, take a bit of a rest. So an opportunity to put out a kill line. Some of the O-line players have had a rest here, so time to put out your best seven, I think.
Let's keep our eye on who the Italians go with. The O-line playing zone D by Japan. Nice tactic. I really love Italy's O-line, but I really love Italy's defensive offense as well. Paradisi had a risky throw in there, but he's been great for them. But having the likes of Giuliani, Simonazzi, so many of them can run the show there. Zani, another great thrower on the D-line. They've got great throwing across the board. They play zone internally so much in Italy. Italian clubs, surely in their training camps and preparation for this, that the zone in front. I like different looks, but I thought Italy dealt with it really well. Paradisi with the pull.
Looks like a fairly traditional D-line here from Italy with Paradisi, Simonazzi.
They're backing their lines. Fukimori to Kawasaki, and now Ishiguro. He sends deep. Ohara behind everyone. And Zani about the second effort. What a second bid. Hosoya gets the handout. Galaxy point coming up. 7-7. Italy, Japan.
Is it bin day, Steph? Because the Japanese are sweeping up the trash here. They've done that on numerous occasions.
I thought that D was good enough by Zani.
I like this look. They're kind of taking away the unders, forcing the deep shot, feeling like they can get there. And they were there, seemingly.
And even cross body, using the left hand at that. That's really the most dyingest moment here for Hosoya. And Zani actually didn't touch it, I don't think, when I see this angle. Whiffed at it.
Yeah, got suckered in, the Italian defenders, following that first Japanese receiver, the intended target, but doesn't matter who catches them as long as they do catch it. And that was Hosoya, who's been fantastic in this game. Big moment now, as you said, Galaxy Point. We're also in Galaxy Point in another quarterfinal. Not the ones expecting, Belgium and Colombia. So be sure to subscribe and be able to watch that one as well. Great vibes here in Logroño. People trying to watch as many of these games as they possibly can.
Ultimate overload. Kedodinya. Mancinelli to Rosie. Rosie and Ruscello. The R&R combo just outside Fantini has the honey hands. Mancinelli and Ruscello. Fabri gives Giacomo Rosi. Doesn't pull the trigger, now goes back. Fantini and Rosi. Rosi leads, beautiful throw. Fantini meters away, fires to the far side. Ruscello all alone. Italy take half with a hold. We're on serve. 8-7.
Beautiful offense from the Italian side. That's the composure we've seen from them all week long. And they take half in a really, really important point. And it's beautiful upline caught from Fantini. Fearless. And carving up the Japanese defense with a big arcing forehand. And that's what it's so good at, this Italian side. They have the throws, but it's also the decision making. And they'd be delighted with that goal. And yeah, back on serve. It's been a high octane first half here.
Were you expecting anything less, Liam?
With this man on the field, you can expect fireworks, Steph. That's what I was expecting. They're going to take some shade here. Davide Mori is going to take an opportunity to talk to his team and come up with a strategy here in the second half. Japan are trailing by one, but are putting on a show for us here, Steph.
Indeed they are. They've come ready to play. As per expectation, Japan always rising to the occasion when it matters most. Italy have been better than Japan throughout this tournament. I think, you know, the biggest tale of that was the fight they threw at the USA, but we're now into the quarters, and we've got head coach of the Italian Open team, Davide Mori.
Tognetti's coach.
Tognetti's the coach. Davide's the coach. Davide, one of the talismanic members. Davide, tell us about the communication out there. There's been some really long conversations at the beginning. Simonazzi seemed quick to change his mind. How is the communication?
Basically, we, decided that after 2 or 3 moments with long conversation and 2 contested call that for us were clear defense, we trust that they are a good team, is a honest team, but we decided to keep short the conversation in general, because if the game slow down, we are risking to lose. And then before there was a travel, no? And we wanted to start quickly. Every time there is no, you have to be there, you have to be here. Okay, we want to start, because otherwise the game slow down and our mindset go away. This is why it's not exaggerated. Say, okay, you are not agree with me, go back. Instead to speak with the translator between 1 minute and 3 minutes.
Davide, we're on serve at the moment. What do you need to do to win this game in the second half?
First, our D-line know exactly what they have to do is cover no under totally, no inside forcing flick, totally no under, and be ready in the give and go when there is an upline throw coming and the receiver catch. Run crossover to stop the flow with a wall defense who don't have the hack and go back forcing flick. And this is something we are missing. If you do this, they cannot win. Second thing we want to do is, like now, you have seen our offense finally start to enter and exit from the under deep space, and now Rosi, Fanto, Cassanelli are transforming with Fabri in the position, and now it's good. Before there was this static play. We said yesterday night, 1 hour of a meeting, that if we play standing, we have no chance to win, because they facing the disc and the people inactive go poaching. Then we have to move together like a team.
Well, grazie mille, Davide. Good luck in the second half. And we'll hope to see you later in the bracket.
I hope.
Grazie, Davide. Giving us some good insight there, really playing out the tactics. That's what I thought they were doing. No inside flick, no under. And on the O-line, be active. If you start sitting around, they'll poach off you. So great insight there. We look at the opportunities there. It was actually Japan with more break chances. Kind of surprised to see that. But the Italian O-line good at getting it back. Very, very similar stats, almost identical, and that's why nothing really separates these two teams. We're on serve now.
And we're going to send down to head coach Yoda Nishinaka of Japan. Yoda, have you been enjoying your time in Logroño? Did you find some Japanese restaurants?
Of course. Let me have a chance to speak in Spanish, because I'm not a good English speaker, and we are here in Logroño, Spain. Hola a todos. Yo estoy muy feliz por estar aquí a ciudad de una maravillosa Logroño y participar este gran juego.
Ohio gozaimasu. And really exciting first half.
Sí.
What were you impressed with from your team?
Sí. Así como que Logroño una parada en Camino de Santiago. Esta partida cuartas de final también es una parada para nos. Nos caminamos, nos decido victoria y medalla oro.
All right. Well, we wish you luck searching that gold medal. Yeah. Thank you very much for your time.
As us.
Yeah, gracias.
Good luck in the second half.
Yeah, gracias. Japan campeón.
And Yoda Nishinaka, Davide Mori, great personalities, very different, the two of them, very entertaining, the both of them.
Nice to see the two coaches having a chat together now. Many of these coaches have played against each other on the field, now playing mind games against each other off the field, as we're counting down to the kickoff of the second half here. We see some of the WIFTF staff in the back there. Karina Volt, Brian Gissel, Yenny. Had a busy week here in Logroño, but I think a very successful tournament overall so far, Steph.
It's been awesome. I've had such a great time. I think the venue's been very good. The weather's been hot. There's no two ways about it. But I think the most exciting part about this tournament is it's like you are really in the city. all the players are right in the center. You get to enjoy being in the middle. It's not like you go to the airport, you get a hotel on the outskirts or in the fringes, and you kind of just go field to hotel, and you just, maybe out to a restaurant. Like, you're really feeling all of Logroño here, and that is as awesome as the Japanese sideline chants. Second half underway. Japan received the pull, and Kawasaki stands on his goal line and shoots for Takahashi. Fired, sent deep. Hosoya gets separation. He's not in, though. He says he is. Alisi sends him back. Hosoya sends too far and gives it away. Italy will get a chance. Nakai couldn't catch up to the throw. Komirato from his end zone gets a move from Zani. Zani winds up. The mark reacts well. Komirato, Zani. Zani fires. Laffy, the target. He's there. Paradisi free. Quickly in. Italy break to open the second half.
The Italian stallion tearing down the field. Paradisi was left in acres of space there. Brilliant offense from the Italian D-line. Not afraid to shoot it. Just like this first half, starting off with a break. The Italians, and look, I think they're forcing Japan to take those deep shots and to catch that one, but just can't punch it in, unfortunately. A little too far in front.
Great shot by Zani. I was unsure if Laffy would get there on release, but it ended up being absolutely perfect. He stayed at top speed, and you saw Paradisi running a line with him. A nice gentle spike by Paradisi. Put a whole lot into that and put it down nicely. I'm not going to break this disc.
Yeah, a message was sent to teams by Carino Volt, WIFTF event coordinator, essentially asking people not to edge spike. Steph might read out the whole message for us, but suggesting that the game discs are going to be donated to the local schools here as part of their schools program, and they want to be giving them discs, not tacos. And look, some people may find that request controversial, some people not, but it was definitely sent out to teams. We might read it there in the next timeout.
Yeah. And this one rolls into Sawada's hands. Japanese have shifted this line, if not replaced entirely, for the second potential to hold. Suzuki with the disc. Into the backfield, Sawada, who's been their break scorer on both Japanese break goals. But he's now gone, this currently with Tsujino. Tsujino fires. He's got separation. I think it's too far. It is. Just behind the chase of Suzuki. Italy will take over again.
And they just haven't calibrated those hawks quite enough, Japan. And they have separation because, as Davide alluded to, they're standing under and they have plenty of separation going deep, so can probably afford to put a bit more float on it, make it a little bit more forgiving.
Zani in the middle. Simonazzi. Davide involving himself with his voice from the sideline.
As he mentioned, he wants things to move quickly, and things just annoyed sometimes that it takes a while for this to come back into play as that big old butter biscuit.
Zani sends, and it is intercepted. Great play by Homochi. Japan coming the other way. It's Tsujino. Bit on the hip. Not going to get there by Grazzini, and Sawada looks to inbound. Tsujino isolates. Now turns away. Suzuki. And injury called by Grazzini. Not sure I saw anything, but he is going to switch. Komirato rushes in. Japan not looking to reciprocate on substitutions. Sawada to Suzuki. Straight back, and now Yonehana. Some separation up line, but not taken into the backfield once more. Tsujino. Sawada. And left in front for Ishikawa. Near sideline, he looks back to middle, gets a seam upfield, turns, hits for Yonehana. And Japan put one back. It's 8-9, they're still down 1.
Great patient offense from Japan. They're just trying to use that inside shot, the one Davide Mori was telling them to take away, but not easily done. Playing in that 6-person vertical stack, there's big break lanes to hit, and there's that inside shot that opens up the continuation. And you see he's just so good at getting that lower release, hand almost touching the ground after the release, and they're pumped up right now, Japan. And they've been down a couple of times in this game, but have fought back. There we see some of the WFTF staff. We're just seeing how the difference the shorter end zones are making. All things running well here on the showcase field. It might take, a day for these teams to adjust to the shorter end zones. See busy stands. Most people up the top of the stands in the shade, and where you can get a look at 2 games at once. We have the Belgium-Colombia quarter going on behind us, and that is a great game as well. If you want to subscribe to Ultiworld to get access to that one simultaneously. Thank you so much to everyone who's supported our efforts to bring you this amazing action.
Cassanelli and De Grazia.
And we see zone again from Japan. We haven't seen zone in a while as both teams were cutting through it.
In the middle, Sadako finds Solmi up line. Back to Cassanelli. Poltak. Cassanelli. De Grazia and Poltak. Lots of quick movement as we come to expect out of the Azzurri. Fires, Fabri fills the space. I thought it was for Ruscello. Poltak and Sadako.
3 people in the end zone for Italians, only 1 Japanese player defending them. They're very tight around the disc.
I mean, Ruscello and Solmi both have a 10-meter box around them right now of space.
Well, Salome needs to pay attention to which line is the right one.
And he does find in the corner. It felt like that was the inevitable option. They see it, take it, and hit it. It's 10-8 now as they navigate the zone.
Yeah, slight different adjustments there from Japan on the zone. We're super tight around the handlers. 6 players coming in around the disc and eventually baiting the Italians to take that shot. The Italians have to at some point with completely unguarded receivers in the end zone. Just need to execute some kind of blade or overhead, and they do just that. Nobody even close to the big man. And Italy can take that throw. We saw them play zone offense earlier where they're give-go, small ball. But if you really squeeze up on them, they will take that more difficult shot as well. The blading forehand.
Francesco Solmi, 2 goals now. Most of this team comprised of BFD, La Fotta, and Costa Rica, but Solmi from Carpi plays for the team Meta Carpi. So they have a handful, 4 or 5. From
What's a Carpi?
Carpi is a city.
Okay, I thought it was like a carp or something.
No. To my knowledge, my breadth of Italian, despite my passport, not fluent. The under comes Fukimori to Hosoya. Hosoya shakes Paradisi on the mark, gets a layout. It was bobbled and Paradisi calls it down.
That looked like he bobbled it. Did it touch the ground during that play? He was happy to carry on. Takumi Fukumori. Have a look at this one again.
I think he kept it cradled.
He did lose control temporarily, but his arms seem to be possibly an edge catching there.
Okay, retracted.
I mean, the first angle is the one that was clearer to me. I thought it was up.
Initially, I thought it was down. He definitely fumbled it, but his arms are underneath the disc. Did the edge of the disc touch underneath his body? It's actually even really hard to tell on the camera angle what was going on inside the cradle there.
Low throw forward, Ishiguro. Centers. Hayashi. Big, wide arms, winding the windows down and faking. Kawasaki. Leads forward, gets the up line on the far side. Fukumori waits for the fill, that's Ohara. And a foul called between Fukumori and Grazzini. Grazzini accepts, and you can see the strategic nature of the communication. As Davide said, the Italians are very quick to get the game moving. Around, high, second effort! Once again, Ishiguro is there. Johnny on the spot.
The trash collectors are out today in force. They've done that numerous occasions. The Japanese, and frustrating for the Italians. And a 1-point game. The Japanese aren't going anywhere, and that's just catching the wind a little bit. And you see the Italians throwing themselves around like a big bag of spuds, but at times not really getting close enough. It looks like some of that Japanese O-line will seek the shade as the Italians back on the field on O.
I know all of you are following on All Access. If you're not, it's time to make that subscription upgrade. There are fascinating games going on all over the place. Right behind us, right in front of us, and all across the grounds here in Logroño. Sarako tests and then goes to Casanelli, who I thought it was back to Sarako, but it's Mancinelli. Casanelli. And a stoppage upfield. Takimoto and Rosie having a chat, and it's Kiguchi getting a great workout, the translator.
Yeah, always change my direction.
Do you have any perspective or anything? Okay. Okay, what's the call and the resolution, please? Okay, this is going back. Coming in.
You see the Italians just trying to get the show on the road here. And like seemingly straight away accepted foul, but we still have a discussion about it. I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but a spoiler alert here. It's 10-10 in that Colombia-Belgium game, and Colombia have the disc. Don't know if we're about to see Belgium cough up another quarterfinal. But it's Italy with the disc now, and they're going to have to stay tuned in.
And another stoppage, and you can see the frustration on the Italian sidelines with their coaching staff about the continuity of conversation. Pole talk is back in play. Rosie switches the field. Rosie sends deep. Casanelli on the shape. It's too far. Hits the back fence. And Japan will take over.
Poor execution on the back end. As soon as that came out of his hand, I said that's too far. He didn't need to take that shot.
Japan. Suzuki. Who gets one around a blinded pole talk. Ishikawa looks upfield. Fires, gets a nice grab from Suzuki. Near sideline. And some conversation, whether it was in or out, I believe.
He traveled, he ran out of bounds, and then it was pointing to where it comes back in. And he stopped play, but travel doesn't stop play, and that's the frustration there from the Italians.
And a turnover there, that one thrown too low. Quickly, the Italians pick up and play. Sadako pops Mancinelli. Fantini to Sadako. Now Fantini again. A sequence of exchanges ends with Ruscello from the attacking brick mark. High take Mancinelli. He finds center. It's Poltak. Poltak leads. Good gainer to Sadako. No one immediately in the corner. Mancinelli gives him a dump and a bump on the mark. Mancinelli blades, hits to Rosie. It's 11-9. Italy staying in front.
Much better from the Italians on that possession. Taking the easy option, which is all they need to do. Got suckered into trying that bigger backhand throw and resulted in a turnover. Here's that throw and just running out of space. Hits the back of the net. And you can see a hand block there. Sensational on the mark, and I think that comes with the Japanese player not knowing the travel rules. He caught the disc and ran out of bounds. He'd have to come back in where you left the field of play, and also play doesn't stop. You go there, you play on. The Japanese player thought he was going to touch it in, but the Italian man had already got the stall 5 before he knew what was going on, and then gets the hand block.
Liam, there's scenes all over. Spoiler alert, but Colombia have broken twice in a row. That's a lead taker over there.
We're going to see back-to-back World Championships of Belgium Open. Kind of, I want to say choking in the quarters.
It's
far from over that game, but everyone really expecting Belgium to win that one. Big, fiery forehand.
And now Japan on the front foot in front of the end zone. Hosoya. Pick called. Hosoya and Alisi, game advisor, quickly on scene.
Not sure really needed this scenario. I think it's just a simple pick call.
Hosoya. Hayashi, low throw, that's taken away. Laffy on the pickup. Zani gives an option, near sideline, fires again. Giuliani, he turns, eyes upfield. Giuliani centers, Simonazzi. Sent, Laffy once more. He goes around Corazza. Corazza leads, Brini puts down the foot down, and that's another break for the Italians, the second of the half.
Massive moment for this Italian side. An unforced error from the Japanese, and a commanding lead now for the first time in this game, having that 3-point lead going into the heat stoppage. So they'll be able to send out a fresh D-line as well. And again, just taking the simple options here. I love this break continuation, this little touch throw out to space. Always going to favor the offense.
Brini cashes in. Italy stretching ahead. 12-9 the score. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back to bring you more.
The 2025 club season is upon us, and Ultiworld is bringing you all the action. Ultiworld is the best place for live video, news, highlights, and analysis of your favorite teams and players.
Scores again.
Make sure to subscribe for our extensive live coverage of the USAU club season, including the thrilling club championships in San Diego in October, exclusively on Ultiworld.
Straight into play. Roller pull. We'll have a sideline start for Ohara and the Japanese. Ohara shoots deep straight away. Nake, the intended target. Paradisi and Brini make a sandwich, and a foul is being called.
Just over 5 minutes left on the clock. That is speculative forehand look.
I see his point on the foul. A lot of contact. They did get a hand of the disc, but he felt contact from two sides.
I think that's nearly it. I think it's nearly the combination of the two. I don't think it was bad lines from either of them, but perhaps just having a little bit of position in Japanese players. But I'm not sure if it was a foul, to be honest.
I'm not saying it was certainty. I see his reasoning for calling it. He did feel contact. He also stayed in front. Both of them came from back shoulder and straight behind.
Tell you right now, this one's going to be contested. But we'll have another minute or two talking about
That's
it.
amazing. Brilliant. Grazie.
We're listening into a game advisor getting a hose down on the sideline there. Yeah, she saw a game advisor getting her feet sprayed. One of those spray pumps. I've seen a few teams do that.
So the call is a foul. Yes, foul. And what is the discussion here? So what have you? Because obviously there's foul contested. Same foul contest. Foul contest. Okay. Yeah.
Just getting
Okay. If you're in
confirmation of what
agreement,
we
foul
already
contest.
know.
This goes. Okay.
And again, slow to come to that resolution. Taking minutes off the clock. The Italians were quick to rush it earlier, I think, particularly when they were losing the game. But now 3 points up, I think they don't mind too much. As we see some American players behind us celebrating the Colombian goals. They're quick to finish their quarterfinal and are now observing what's happening here on the showcase fields.
And there are scenes. Ohara goes to center. Gets a commando roll out of Tsujino and back to Ohara. Wind up, fires, some separation. Ishiguro looks upfield. High release backhand over the shoulder, Hosoya. Hosoya fires hard. Takahashi and back to Kawasaki. Leads in front. Hosoya collects. Looks upfield. A slip in the cutting lane. And another possession for Ishiguro. Kawai to Ishiguro and back again. Grazzini shuffles to cover the lane and then tightens up. Resetting efficiently the Japanese. Kawasaki throws and gives. Ishiguro pops. Hosoya runs into it, turns quick, doesn't have an opening, and looks like Rigoni falling into contact on the mark.
Very disciplined offense from the Japanese, going side to side, but the Italians with them on every step.
Hosoya looking to center, eyes only to the end zone. Shimmies, then goes into the backfield. Kawasaki. Forehand side, no. Swipes and around. Backhand floats. Collected. Kawai. Still no opening. Resetting relentlessly. Ishiguro to Kawai. He motions with the offhand. Clears some space and goes back to center. Paradici! Taken away. It is in the hand of Paradisi. There is a call here. Looked clean live to me. Let's get another look.
Called strip, I think.
Oh, that doesn't look. He lands on him.
Look at his hand signal there. They've come up with their own hand signal for strip here, the Japanese. Paradisi definitely gets his hand to it first. Doesn't look like the Japanese player had control of it to me. Kind of did the make it rain hand signal suggesting strip, but Looked like Paradisi maybe got there first.
I think if the Japanese player Kawai closed his hand, he was closing his hand on a disc that was already in possession. He did land on his ankle in the landing, and I think that is the dangerous play part of it. But
he got an elbow to the head there as well, the people's elbow on top of Paradisi.
I mean, his left hand went into his back. I mean, he was motioning foul before he hit the ground.
That was Dwayne Rock Johnson-esque there. I think just an unfortunate collision. Paradisi had a bit of that. They're saying it's going to be contested, as is tradition in this game.
And back in play, Ishiguro. Kawasaki pivots into the mark of Komirato. And Kawai. Eyes upfield. Kawai hasn't seen the clock, but the cap has gone off, and this point will finish and add one. Floats over top of one. Ishiguro takes high. He's on the line. Kawasaki gives an option in the backfield, and he's still only eyes forward. Pick called.
My eyes bouncing over and back like a game of tennis as Japan moving from side to side but can't punch it in. A great defensive stand here from the Italians to keep it outside of the end zone. Coming in on stall 6.
In the hands of Ishiguro. Looks ready to tap. And timeout called immediately. Ishiguro takes his time. We're into soft cap. But Japan feeling the pressure, how many times they've had to bounce off the sidelines, reset, and they want to assure this one. They'll have timeouts they can use into the cap space just the same.
Yeah, 2 timeouts per team. You can use them whenever you want. There we see a bit of a spray gun trying to cool down this Italian defensive line, who've been fantastic at keeping the Japanese players out.
Stalling 7, 8, 9. Allora, bisogna che la gente sia orbitata bene, quindi largo motore così, pronto per la difesa. Marco una punta, così, pronto per il finocchio. Marco un lontano, così, pronto per il destro. 4 secondi, sono qua, avete difeso 2-0-7. Via, fuori.
Davide giving explicit instructions how he wants them to be orbiting and showing only one side to cut, using the body to cut off lanes. He is keen to prevent everything, this goal included. Disc now in hand for Ishiguro, coming in at 6. Back in play, Ishiguro pops and a bobble. Of course, we're seeing a call here. Kawasaki tangles up with Komirato.
Did look like there was contact in the back from Komirato. We're going to get a translator. Time is gone in this game, so we've loads of time now. Might as well have these unnecessary long conversations.
Uncontested. Foul, uncontested. Thank you.
Wild action, both sides. Make sure you've got your all access clicked on. Japan, shoot and hit for the goal. Moves, and there's an injury on the reception. Takahashi limping back to the line, but getting the goal for his nation. It's 12-10. That makes it a game to 13. Italy will receive the next pull.
I thought he was in the gritty there for a second, but no, just injured, or one of those fake injury celebrations you might see.
Grinjury. I don't believe so.
Not sure when he did it. Was it off the field?
One of those things, but I get the sense that it was a hamstring because I've seen that happen all too often.
He landed a bit gingerly.
That left foot might have been calf or ankle, but done after the catch. Trying to turn away from traffic on the sideline.
That was a clean hold. They took their time getting it done, but patience is a virtue. And this Japanese side has plenty of it.
So Italy on game point. Japan with the pole. Homochi. Pole talk to Casanelli, now Mancinelli. The around to Fantini. Center, pole talk. Leads upfield to Rossi. Mancinelli. Fantini. And around to Fabri. Fabri shoots. Ruscello's underneath. Italy are moving on to the semifinals.
Fantastic performance from the Azzurri. They get it done in the end. Valiant performance from the Japanese. They fought hard. They were down a few breaks but got some back. But the Italian side just too good in the end. The Japanese can hold their heads high here though. Japan into the semis. Great coaching from the likes of Luca Cionieri and Davide Mori. They made the adjustments, and the likes of Fantini, Fabri kept their cool. Ruscello, a trusted pair of hands.
And Ruscello holding high. Liam, I agree, that was an impeccably coached game. Davide Mori showing his cards at the halftime interview. I really like how they dealt with the conversation they knew was going to be an issue in the game. I think having the team ready to snuff out the call, even at some potential disadvantage, just to keep the game moving. I think they backed themselves to outplay them, and they did.
And the Belgium-Colombia quarterfinal still going on. Tied at 12, folks. If you want to follow that game, please subscribe to Ultiworld. You can watch it there. Everyone here in Logroño has turned up. Wife, kids and dog are all gathered around. That Belgium-Colombia game would be a monumental victory if Colombia can pull it off. As we look at the game stats here,
even on break chances, Liam, and it was the Italians being more efficient with them, 4 from 7 rather than the 2 for 7. That's the big difference. I mean, Italians in the second half were really, used that momentum. The 2 breaks to none in the second half. I thought Japan had a great bit of momentum in the middle, but the Italians too strong in the end. And their O-line efficiency fantastic throughout. We're going to go down to the sideline. We've got Giovanni Saracco, headset on. Giovanni, congratulations, first of all. You guys played a heck of a game. Your O-line's been really moving well. Talk about your handling unit of your O-line. They are rock solid, and they were throughout this game. Tell us about how good it is to play with a line with those handlers.
Thank you for the compliment. The handlers for sure are one of our strengths. It's all year long we've been working on it. They play also in the club together with La Fotta. They're young. Everyone has their thing. Someone is faster. Someone is good with breaking the mark. Someone is good at hawking. But everyone knows how to do everything. So they like small ball. For me, sometimes it's a mess from a cutter, like getting the timing right. But it's wonderful to play with them.
Going up against this Japanese side, very, very different to most teams you'd play against in Europe. What were the tactical changes you made, both on offense and defense, of how you'd approach this game?
So offense, we knew their style of defense was kind of poachy, sometimes zones, sometimes like on the far cutter. They like to keep their heads up and have good awareness of the field and where the disc is. So it's very important to keep spacing good and do the cuts till the end, go deep and come back under. So yeah, we knew if we were clean, we could have done a clean offense. We sort of managed to do that. We always have some troubles at halftime and often at the end of the game, but we managed to contain it, and I think overall the offense did a good job. Defense was amazing. Davide and Pingu are always scouting the other teams and thinking about the best way to put them in out of their comfort zone, and I think till now they've done a great job. Also Japan, we know they really like their insides and really fast and really fast disc in the at the chest of the teammate, and we changed a bit style of defense from man to man to and zone, and I think we managed to do, I don't know how many breaks, but enough to win. So great job to the defense.
Excellent stuff, Giovanni. You're moving on to the semis. Talk about how ready your team is and maybe your expectations of who you might be playing.
I don't know if they were playing now, but I know we should maybe Belgium. I don't know. We know them well from also the club season.
We'll tell you, it's 13-12 to Belgium right now. Colombia have the disc. It's been a very close game. It's tied at 12s. They were ahead at one stage. So
wow. So we don't know. We played against Colombia a few days ago. We played against Belgium at Tom's in a strange game, let's say. But yeah, we're looking forward to the semis. We weren't thinking about it. We just go one game at a time. Today we'll rest this evening, this afternoon, maybe a swim, and then tonight we'll think about, we'll have our meeting and we'll think about the next game.
Excellent stuff, Giovanni. Congratulations. You're moving on to semi. We'll let you go celebrate with your team. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Go watch the rest of this game, mate. Get on it. Get on your Ultiworld subscription.
Oh, what a game, Liam. We're moving on to semis. This quarterfinal round has brought fireworks. One game still to play. Make sure you're watching, taking in all the action from Logroño. For all the wonderful work here at Ultiworld, for Liam Grant alongside, I'm Stefan Rapazzo. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time.